Accidentally, I have found a completely new way how to find direction in life. And it blew my mind. And since then, my life has changed fundamentally the way I make decisions every single day. And this way to look for directions is so different than anything that you've ever heard or read that I decided to write a book about it. And this book is called Wanting Illusion: How to Find Direction in Life Without Losing Yourself to Identity, Fantasy, or Fear. And so I decided basically to turn it into a game and describing this game in this book. And so maybe you think, well, it's not like I'm lost. It's not like I'm looking for some guidance. I'm all right. I'm fine. Maybe I'm functioning really well. Maybe I'm really successful, actually. But when you look closely, you notice that you're constantly scanning your environment. You're already looking, constantly predicting what to do next, just to make sure that you don't make mistakes, that you really take the most effortless path in your life, avoiding the biggest mistakes and pain that will lead you to some happy outcome when you feel good and secure. When you look at some of the most painful train wrecks in your life, those, toxic relationships or jobs that sucked out soul out through a straw, all the warning signs were flapping in our face from minute one, but we chose to ignore them. We kept navigating this inner GPS we call our feelings, our intuition, the lessons from the past. We completely ghost the greatest opportunities, the quiet, alive tugs towards something that actually feels electric. We dismiss them because they don't match the fantasy map. So we keep cruising in neutral, wondering why life feels like a loading screen that never finishes. Some people notice this self-sabotage and try to go around it by asking those deep existential questions about finding clarity in life. What do I want? What will fulfill me? What is my purpose? But none of those questions can actually show you direction in life because, again, you are just dealing with an internal mental map. You are just guessing. And that's all based on the survival story. And then we stare confused when we spend the next 5 years lying on the floor, thinking about it, changing our minds weekly, starting 17 things, finishing none. So Wanting Illusion challenges that approach. It shows that clarity never comes from asking deep questions unless our body is already lit up or in emotion. So, is there another way? A way without burning out from overthinking? Yes, and it's hilariously and terrifyingly different. The core of this book is something I call the procedural game. Life actually moving without the self's endless management theater, where clarity before movement is just a delay. Imagine realizing that the world you've been navigating isn't a fixed map at all. It is a hallucination, a low-resolution simulation stitched together by your survival story, running on an overcooked nervous system. And that wanting and searching and hovering in the almost there zone, the constant sense of missing the point, it's our relating to a fake frozen GPS screen as if it were solid and personal, wondering why everything feels slightly off, awkward, unsatisfying, like wearing shoes that are half a size too small, but insisting they are breaking in. And here is where it gets hilariously brutal. This happens without a whisper of awareness, turning us into very serious, very busy, very thoughtful person who somehow never gets to do what we really want. And the procedural game is the middle finger to that simulation. You don't need clarity to find direction in life. You need contact. If you'd like to explore the whole mechanism, the book Wanting Illusion is coming out in 2 days from now, and you can still pre-order the Kindle version from the link below this video. And if you pre-order before it comes out, it's at the best price it will ever be. Wanting Illusion is not another book about self-improvement, self-mastery, or how to find your purpose. It's for the intelligent overthinker who has already tried all of that and still doesn't know what they really want. The book exposes a single mechanism, how humans, even after insight and intellectual understanding, avoid aliveness through clarity-seeking, substitute desires, and exhausting self-management. In short, you won't find what you really want in life. You will lose your hiding places. Wanting Illusion is about the moment when the fantasy breaks. And finally, for the first time, you can feel what you actually want underneath all that noise without it feeling like you're auditioning for your own life. This book activates desire, not as an idea, but as actual movement. It is not a self-help book. It reads like someone finally stopped performing competence and told the brutal, embarrassing, and hilarious truth, complete with those "oh no, that's me" moments. This book is for people who are smart, self-aware, and quietly underlived. It's for you if you thought about your life a lot. You've worked on yourself, and yet you stay in relationships longer than you should, like lingering at a party where the music stopped hours ago. You postpone, heal, and prepare before launching a new project. You hesitate when it's time to move, waiting for the universe to send a neon sign that says, "Go." So you plan, you analyze, overthink, and you call it being responsible. But underneath, something feels stalled because something in you wants to move. But you've got it on a leash made of what-ifs. Desire is the bridge. It is the exact place where high-functioning self-improvers break down and collapse. So discover for yourself why being inside the right game, the procedural desire, changes your life more than pursuing self-actualization or self-mastery. This isn't a motivational book. It won't help you to decide safely with a cozy blanket of pros and cons. It's a book about exposure, about the moment you realize that nothing is actually blocking you except the way you've learned to protect your self-identity, like bubble wrapping your soul to avoid shipping damage. If you've ever felt busy but strangely stagnant, like a whirlwind in a bottle, self-aware but indecisive, knowing everything except what to do next, capable but tired of managing your life, this book will feel uncomfortably familiar and possibly impossible to ignore, like a song stuck in your head that's actually the truth. Order Wanting Illusion from Amazon now, from the link below, and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear how it impacted you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you inside of the book.